Well, this week's cooking segment's brought to you inside. Why? Well, it's raining outside and I've got all the washing behind me. So I'm not only doing the washing, I'm also doing the cooking. Aren't I a handyman? But I'm cooking curried sausages, something that the adults love and of course, the kids hate. Surely I've got a top. But before I get my top on, first things first, put the potatoes on to boil. Well, that looks better, but as soon as the potatoes are about to boil, we start preparing our curried sausages. So all we need is a little bit of oil, some gravy, some peas, some corn, onion, tomatoes, and of course sausages. Heat the oil and then add in all the onion. Pretty much for 4 people, put in 2 onions. So that's half an onion each and a couple of sausages each as well. So we want to cook that until it's caramelised. So as we can see, this is nearly caramelised, and all we do then is add everything else. Give it a bit of a mix around. Then of course, just some gravy mix. Now you want to make the gravy mix quite runny, and you want to boil it down a little bit, just to cook the sausages and the tomato and all the veggies through for a little while. The most important, of course, some curry powder. Now don't go overboard on the curry powder, just a couple of tablespoons. You can always add it later on if you think there's not enough curry in it. So now you can see the curried sausages are starting to thicken up, so it's time to obviously prepare our mashed potato. First thing, drain the water. It's a good way to water the plants. So you get some milk, some butter. Now I like to mash most of it before I put any milk in it. Only for the fact then you can always add more milk, you can't take it out after you've added it in, so you don't want your mash too soggy. A little bit of milk. Last stir. So when it's reduced down enough, all we do now is obviously serve the potato on top of the curried sausages, and she's ready to go. And I've got to thank Neil Parker, he sent this recipe in. I'll tell you what, there's nothing wrong with that. Can't believe kids don't like curried sausages. Curried snags. The easiest way to remember this recipe is for each person you cook for. You put in 2 sausages, 1 tomato, half an onion, a handful of corn and peas, cover with gravy and curry mix and allow to simmer for half an hour. Hot, hearty, tasty snags. Great way to change up food on the road. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you have to cook extra. Why? Because this is another magnificent meal, just totally different. And I'll show you that next week.